you're saying for the oil producing community is too low.
So the support that is needed, and once again, the support your airline people will blossom.
This is Nigeria. You need to give people sense of belonging.
Good morning. Welcome to the midweek edition of Inside Nigeria on Leadership Television. My name is Winifred Weber. It's my pleasure to host you on today's program. And I'm not alone in the studio. As you can see, I have my Wednesday turning, the Chico Chief. He's a public affairs analyst, a syndicated columnist, and a TV host. Jidewijo, thank you so much for always gracing us with your presence.
My pleasure. My pleasure.
Thank you so much. Yes, as you know, we have 4 papers for review and discussion this morning. And we have Nigeria's most influential newspaper, Leadership, THISDAY, Blueprint, and Access Publication, National Economy. And of course, as usual, too, we are flagging off with Leadership. Let's see what Leadership headline story is all about this Wednesday. APC asks for extra time to tackle security challenges. APC asks for extra time to tackle security challenges. This is the headline story on Leadership newspaper this Wednesday, 6th July 2022. And let's see what the writer says. As bandits go berserk, attack Buhari's convoy on advanced trip to Katsina, kill 5 adults cause in Kaduna villages. Gunmen kill 2 policemen, abduct Chinese in Kwara, Katsina. I'll take the headline story once again. APC asks for extra time to tackle security challenges as bandits go berserk, attack Buhari's convoy on advanced trip to Katsina, kill 5 adults cause in Kaduna villages. Gunmen kill 2 policemen, abduct Chinese in Kwara, Katsina. The story is on page 4 of the paper this Wednesday. This is the headline story. The same Leadership's headline story is also the headline story on this day. Few dead, 2 injured as bandits attack Buhari's convoy en route Daura. Few dead, 2 injured as bandits attack Buhari's convoy en route Daura. Incident is sad, unwelcome, says presidency. Bandits kill assistant police commissioner in Katsina as gunmen hit Kuje prison. Blueprint newspaper. Yes, before we get Blueprint newspaper, let's talk about the headline stories making the rounds on some select newspapers this Wednesday.
Anyway.
I'm dazed. I must confess.
Let me wake you. Welcome to Nigeria. Spare the coffee. We are now in the worst situation. You know, I'm sure that Afghanistan and Ukraine.
Okay, let's see what, before you talk, is the same headline story on Blueprint. 20 months after Kankara attacks, terrorists open fire on presidential convoy, injure 2. 20 months after Kankara attacks, terrorists open fire on presidential convoy, injure 2. Security agents countered sad and unwelcome presidency. Team arrives Daura ahead Buhari's Salah visit. Explosives, gunshots rock Kuje prison, residents flee. Katsina shot 69 health institutions. This is the headline story on Blueprint newspaper this Wednesday, July 6th. The story is on page 6 of the paper. So let's go back to our headline story.
Good morning, viewers. Good morning, Winifred. It's a pleasure to be here. I think we should all have a shock absorber in place. If you have lost yours, maybe you need to replace it. Welcome to Nigeria. You know, there is this saying that things will get bad before it gets better. It's like malaria. It gets, when you start using the quinines and all of that, it gets to a point that you will start wondering whether the malaria
We
is.
thought we've seen it all during the last administration.
No, which last administration?
Jonathan's,
Jonathan.
yes.
Oh, Jonathan's administration since security is a child's play to what we are
That's
experiencing.
what I'm saying. When I say
That's
we
what
thought
I'm saying.
we've seen
And
it
we've
all.
seen it. We have been seeing it for 7 years now, and more will come. I'm not a prophet of doom, but what have we done differently to think that we are now in charge? The bandits are in charge.
Mm.
For a state governor to say people should go and harm themselves and protect themselves, that's Governor Matawale just
Yes,
last week.
Zamfara.
The Minister of Defense has previously told us to go and protect ourselves.
Yes.
So what is new? Akeredolu granted a press interview 3 days ago. He said, go and protect yourself. That is abdication of responsibilities by our leaders. They are already telling us our lives are in our hands, not in their hands. So I'm saddened that this attack on the convoy of the president, because it's the president's convoy,
Yes, advanced team.
the advanced team. Just imagine if the president had been in that convoy, even if he's in an armored vehicle, that devil bandits and unknown gunmen will even, despite the police presence, the military presence, that they will even dare to ambush. And now this day newspaper is claiming that few dead, few could mean anything. If
And
you
yet,
see,
the spokesman, Gabashin, only told us that 2 were injured and dangerous.
what do you expect him to say? It's an unfolding story. So you don't expect him to have all the information, and he possibly was not in that convoy anyway.
I don't think.
People like that will fly. They will not. But you see, I really don't have the answer. I've written so many opinion articles in my column. I've given all the pieces of advice I could give, but maybe because I'm a bloody civilian, people like us are never taken serious. You see, the problem we are witnessing is a problem that will linger. It's not a 100 meters dash. It's a marathon. Terrorism is now globalized. It used to be that, in Syria, in Afghanistan, in Burkina Faso. Now, it's a global phenomenon. And we need, you see all the so-called security architecture that have been put in place. It's like you are pouring water inside the basket. These terrorists, I keep asking this question: what has happened to our e-border project? 52 billion that was assigned for e-border project, so that we can have a proper surveillance of our borders. Many of these attacks takes place in the forest areas, where these bandits can hide and attack. And there are technological equipment that can help you to see even to the ant on the floor from the satellite dish. Why have we not acquired such? It used to be that they used binoculars to see front in those days during the Second World War. Today, with the aid of satellite dishes, you can see graphically every object in your view. Why have we not acquired such? Sophisticated technological equipment. We cannot fight insecurity without technology. Where are the CCTVs? Where are the drones? Now, let them tell us one state, even FCT here, whether there is a drone, one single one, or there are CCTV anywhere beyond few government ministries, departments, and agencies. On our roads, do we have CCTV? Do we have satellite coverage? But we have NICOMSAT, Nigeria Communication Satellite 1 and 2. We have NITSDA. We have NCC. What are they doing? Can't we find some homegrown solution to help in the fight against insecurity? The president just held the 2022 Democracy Day address, said they are upgrading our surveillance and satellites. How long will it take to have that upgraded and integrated?
As you are speaking, it reminded me of during the capture of one of Boko Haram's dreaded members, Kabir Sokoto. Then, the SS or DSS detailed how his phone, they tracked him down through his phone. That he was in one of
what
died during that.
Why should it die? Why should it die? We have been forced to do new registration. What is that supposed to mean? It is to help in the fight against insecurity. But you see, nothing seems to shock me again. Because if you can Google what I'm about to say. El-Rufai said they know the hideout of all the bandits plaguing Kaduna State.
Yes.
That sometimes they eavesdrop on their communication.
Yes.
But he wondered why the military has not gone to attack them.
Instead of waiting for them to just...
Exactly. So, he said they forewarned Nigeria Railway Corporation to stop night travels. Because they had it on good authority that these people are planning to attack. So, is it for lack of intelligence? Is it for lack of political will? Is it for lack of resources? Today, as far as I know, take the budget of Nigeria since under the military. To date, the military, the defense and security sector gets the highest vote. It has long before how much are we voting for education? Less than 5%. Or health, which is your area. How much? Have we ever voted up to 10% of our budget to health? ASU has been on strike for 142 days now. But we have voted trillions for fight against insecurity. Just in 2017, December, $1 billion was earmarked by Nigeria Economic Council for the fight against insecurity. Yes. It was $496 million out of that was used to procure 12 Super Tucano. Yes. And they told us that when they abide these 12 Super Tucano, that we will see a dramatic change in the fight against insecurity. Well, the Super Tucano has been deployed for close to 1 year now. What impact has it made? Look, they just breached Kuje prison overnight.
We are going to that. We are taking it one after
where is CCTV camera in any of our correctional centers? I'm telling you, Winifred, without infusing and integrating technology in the fight against insecurity, how many can you recruit? Even if you have 1 million soldiers, Nigeria is a very vast land. One of the biggest in terms of land size in Africa. So even if you recruit 1 million soldiers, 1 million police, yes, it might make some impact. But you see, you will achieve more if you deploy technology. That is the missing gap as far as I'm concerned. If we deploy technology, technology will aid your intelligence gathering. You know that. From the satellite dishes, you will see the imagery like they were traveling. They will have received security report from the police command or military command in Katsina State to say, we have imagery of this forest There are some movements within the forest and all of that.
Yes.
But okay, we are engaging hunters, we are engaging vigilantes, we are engaging more police, we are engaging more. It's not as if there have not been recruitment, but what I'm saying is that for us to effectively tackle insecurity, we need to infuse technology. If we infuse technology, and we don't necessarily have to buy. There are some technologies that have become obsolete in Europe and America. We can seek that they donate this to us because technology evolves. So the ones that they are no longer using, they can help us donate it to us. And look at that image on the screen.
Yes.
Look at how bullet reading that jeep.
Can we have the image on the screen?
Look at that.
As if that was not enough after hearing the attack on presidential convoy yesterday. Few minutes later, we still heard that there was an attack on Kuje
Yes.
Nigerian prisons
Yes.
yesterday, and from eyewitness report that they came in about 100 motorcycles, and they had these high technology weapons like with bombs and all the stuff. Mr. Jide, don't you think there's complicity in the seat of power? They were in action for about 3 hours.
Look at how bullet reading. Whoever survives this kind of attack,
Can we have the image on the screen?
if whoever survives this kind of attack, he possibly have Odeshi. So you can see the image on your screen. Look at how bullet reading that SUV is. And it's a treated vehicle. You can see that the bullet did not penetrate the shields.
Yes.
But be that as it may, whoever is in that vehicle will have died before death comes. Because this is a very serious one. Look at how bullet reading, how dented the impact of the guns on that jeep is. So coming back to the issue of
they operated for 3 hours.
Yes.
And there was no backup, there was no counter attack on them.
What
could have happened? Is it that the security, the prisons officials, they didn't call for backup, they didn't alert military on what was happening?
Well, it's an unfolding story, but quite unfortunately, this has become a recurring decimal. And it seems we never learned from the previous, we never learned the lessons from the previous breaches. This thing in the last 2 years, there have been close to 10 different jailbreaks, a successful one. It has happened during the NSAS. About 4 different prisons were breached. Owerri prison, the Okitipupa prison in the Ondo State, the Benin, the Jos, the Oyo town, the Kaba, Then now Imo Owerri. Yes, I've talked about that. Now, almost 10 in the last 2 years. Look at it. We are talking of insecurity. With every successful attack of the prison, you are going to have a spike in the rate of insecurity in that environment.
Yes.
Because these people are hardened criminals. Otherwise, they wouldn't have been there. You get? So, if hardened criminals are escaping from their confines, it then means that they will go back to their evil ways. Then you will see a spike in the rate of kidnapping, a spike in the rate of armed robbery, and all of that. Because a leopard will never change its skin. It will never change its spot. So we are quite under divine protection in this country. It's only God that can actually effectively protect us as Nigeria. And the painful thing for me is when you look at the quantum resources that have been deployed to security and defense, is there a commensurate impact that we can see that, okay, this trillion of naira actually, look, was it not last week or 2 weeks ago that there was news report about purported finding of millions of dollars in the home of one of the military contractors here in Abuja? Billion. that was found in the home of one. In fact, initial report by Sarah reporter said it was even the former chief of army staff, but it was later refuted by ICPC. But that military contractor, how did he come about that huge sums of money in his home? So there is issue of corruption that is also plaguing our, because many experts have said, beyond all this military architecture, funding, and all of that, underpinning each of these are the issue of corruption. That this military top brass, some of them, not all of them, some of them have seen this insecurity as their only pot, which they don't want to end. Because if it ends, the steady flow of money that they are getting will no longer come. I didn't believe that until when we saw the case of that former GOC in Sokoto, 400 million that he is used, that he sent his 5 soldiers to bring from Sokoto to someone in Kaduna. And those people they ran away with that 400 million naira. Where did he get it? A general officer command.
I remember the former Badi, when he was being tried.
Alex Badi.
Yes, he said the money he was using to buy houses were actually his impressed.
Imagine, impressed that he used to buy those mansions all over. So he's the only one that impressed. You don't need to retire impressed. Let's see, we cannot overemphasize that. Yes, the challenge, there are several challenges facing our security and defense sector. But when you take it from 2015, under Goodluck Jonathan, down to this administration, you were mentioning Alex Bade. There were about 10 of them that were put on trial, including former chief of ER staff, or Adeshola or something, and several others. And if you, some went into plea bargaining, some are still on trial for close to 7 years now. But the bottom line is that, recall the issue for which the Sambo Dasuki was incarcerated for like 4 or 5 years. The presidency, Buhari presidency, set up a committee that established a prima facie case against Sambo Dasuki that $2.1 billion meant to buy ammunition for our military was diverted. Much of it was spent on Goodluck Jonathan's re-election bid failed re-election bid in 2015. Then the other half, they use it to procure obsolete equipment. So is that not a pointer to the fact that corruption is playing a big role in the undermining of the success of our insecurity?
And I remember the outcry generated then. People were like, "Oh, these are people that were
exactly
the deaths of
huge sums of as at that time. Look at the exchange rate. We are talking of $2.1 billion, and nobody has been successfully prosecuted for mismanaging that huge sums. And I've given you $1 billion that was also used 2017 to buy 5 Super Tucano, and they said they procured some other military hardware. Now, something happened in 2019. The immediate past chairman of EFCC, Ibrahim Magu, and this is verifiable online. Ibrahim Magu said some of the governors are even fomenting insecurity in their states because they want to justify the collection of security votes. He said it. It was an open accusation. He said it to their faces. He said he has security report that some of the governors were themselves involved in orchestrating insecurity in their state because they want to justify the collection of their security vote, and in fact ask for more. And you ask yourself this question, Winifred: if it's not corruption, a governor of Nigeria will have in 4 years less than 20 million
Mm.
as salary and allowances. But somebody will spend 5 billion to become that governor.
Yes.
Where does he intend to make up the shortfall?
You are so right, because we heard of a governor whose tenure was short-lived, and they said that he was using the only money he was actually spent. He actually thumped his chest. That was his security vote that he took for himself.
That's zero, because they don't have to
And
account for
and
it.
you forgotten the Amala politician who said that
The
the
Badon,
governor,
the
the
Lamidi
governor was,
Adedibu,
yes, who
who
said
said
the
the
governor
governor of
was supposed to be
Oyo State was
sharing,
supposed to be sharing because he is the one providing security for him.
sharing the security
Yes,
vote with him.
he said it. And later, Lamidi Adedibu, he said, look, you are supposed to be sharing your security vote with me. I'm the one providing security for the state.
Now, though the controller of prisons have not come out to say anything, yes, just only confirmed that there's been an attack. Now we are hearing reports that most of the terrorists or Boko Haram members that were in that Kuje prison have been released. So what does it portend now
Of course,
for the citizenry?
you know the answer now. That is the question I put to my guest on my program earlier today, who told me, naturally there will be spike in insecurity in and around FCT.
But I keep wondering, for 3 hours they were operating and there was no backup, there was no counter attack in FCT, the seat of power.
Do they consider those of us in satellite towns as part of FCT? As far as they are concerned, FCT is Abuja Municipal now. Which did you know for how long kidnapping has been going on in Kuje,
Yes.
Abaji,
Abaji,
and Kwali
yes.
axis? Did you know even up to Gwagwalada here, the 4 local governments you from Kogi down to this place? This is Samak. From Kwali, Abaji, Gwagwalada, Kuje, the number of abductions that are taking place there without anybody being brought to justice is just alarming. So, and that should have, and there is a military checkpoint in Kuje if you are entering Kuje. But how many of them are there? Maybe 2, 3. The last time I went to Kuje, just saw people, they are not even doing any checking. They will just look and say, go, 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 go.
An eyewitness account said they used sophisticated weapons and they came in about 100 motorbikes or
So
something.
they came in 100 motorbikes. That was even around 10 p.m. It's not like dead of the night when everybody has gone to sleep. Now, when they saw that massive convoy, shouldn't the intelligence community of the Nigerian police know that something sinister was about to happen? Look at the airport. The airport to Kuje is under 20 minutes. Shouldn't some of the airport police and other security been able to mobilize and come to support the local ones in Kuje? Even the NCDC headquarters is just across the road on your way to the airport. That could have, they have some of their armed personnel there that should have also been able to reinforce. Then there is even military, a huge expanse of land that was occupied by that was taken by the Nigerian military on your way to the airport. And there are 1 or 2 checkpoints. All of these are there.
You were also giving me an eyewitness report.
Yes. For that length of time, they just were for the safety of their own lives. Because he said it's amazing, it's scary, the kind of gun and explosion that they were hearing. He said his house was just a walking distance, that even around 8:30 in the night yesterday, he passed the front of that place, not knowing that something was in the offing. The guy said, of course, nobody can sleep, said his eyes were bloodshot. So he corroborated exactly what you said about the impunity with which those people operated. And of course, we know may God just protect us here in FCT. because those criminal elements, once they rejoin their gangs, they will make there will be a spike in the rate of insecurity in and around FCT. But since they have asked us to protect ourselves and we don't have weapons, we don't have catapult, we continue to cry unto God Almighty to protect us from the imminent attack of the bandits.
Now, leadership covered again says APC asks for extra time to tackle security challenges. So 8 years, almost 8 years now, it's not enough.
You know my worry, Winifred, is that the political class play different games. Two people have, and these are senior lawyers, senior advocates of Nigeria, have said that we should look at the possibility of interim government. That's what Octogenarian Afebabala said, that there should be an interim government for 6 months. Then there was another senior lawyer, also a senior advocate of Nigeria, that also said Buhari should not hand over May 29 because of insecurity, that he should work on the security situation before. And these lawyers know that it's a constitutional breach, that if this happens, it's unknown to the constitution, and there is no accommodation for interim government in our constitution. Be that as it may, I don't know what extra time APC will need, because they have been in the saddle for
Maybe
7
years.
About
about the next 4 years. I don't think they would.
No, it can't be. It can't even be any. There is no extra time that we can give them.
No, as in voting them in, talking about election.
No, I don't. Well, they can say, oh, what is source for the goose is source for the gander. When they were in opposition, what were they saying against Goodluck Jonathan? They even said he was the one that brought Boko Haram to be able to decimate the north and to make sure that he wins elections, so that when that part of the country cannot vote, he will be able to coast home to victory. All manner of things were said. But what goes round comes round. Now it's APC in the saddle. Now they are begging for extra time. Now they are telling us that they didn't know the problem was this overwhelming. But they were making boasts. Look at them telling us then that there was nothing like subsidy. That subsidy is a fraud. It's a scam. But today, this year, 2022, 4 trillion. And yet, with 4 trillion, you are now still queuing for fuel. We're still queuing. Just imagine if their subsidy is not fair, it's not there. Possibly we will have been resorting to trekking to and from our offices, or maybe we will go backing horses and camels and donkeys to move around. Because I don't understand. 4 trillion. And yet, for the 7th month, we are still queuing. If you cannot queue, you go buy black market, which is what I've been doing anyway.
We leave this insecurity matters behind. Yet the president was telling us about 2 weeks ago during an interview with Bloomberg magazine that he actually, his security is better more than where he met it.
You know, there was it early this year or sometime last year, I was on NTA with Garba Shehu. And that was my point of departure from him, when he said this administration has done more to secure lives than any other previous administration. I disagree with him openly that is not true. Nigerians are more unsafe under the Buhari administration than at any point in time. Now we are no longer afraid of only Boko Haram. Even our own selves, we are afraid of ourselves, our own shadows. Because you don't know who is a bandit. You don't know who is an unknown gunman. Catholic priests, so many of them have been abducted. Even those who are non-Catholics have not been spared. And is it not in his home state he was going just to celebrate Salah? Now, these days reporting few dead.
And besides, people are brazenly committing crimes now. they feel that they
With
can get away
impunity.
with impunity.
With
You
impunity.
see there's a spike in ritual killings and all those things.
Did you see a video trending of the one that took place in Kubwa?
No.
Bishop
Oh yes,
and
I
his
saw
son,
it. Yes,
that
Bishop's son.
they killed a lady and
Yes,
that
the body and found the body parts.
and turned, cut her into pieces with a dog and a goat, and went to dump it in the Kubwa River.
Luckily,
Unfortunately,
it was the Okada man that
the
killed
Keke Napep man
Keke
that he used that found him out,
yes.
and they have
Smart,
now been arrested.
intelligent man.
Now there is a suspicion of maybe ritual killing, because they said they killed a goat and a dog alongside with that lady, and they butchered all of them to pieces. This is not even in a rural community. We are talking of satellite town. Yeah, that's less than 15 kilometers to Abuja city center.
Well, viewers, let's go on a break. We've been talking insecurity issues since bedeviling the country. We are going on a break. When we come back, we'll be talking business. Don't go away. Stay tuned.
For sponsorship and advert placements, please contact 080-3688-6158. Last Word Leadership Podcast Studio. You have the last word.
Inside Nigeria, keeping you informed on what matters.
Welcome back. You're still on to Inside Nigeria on Leadership Television. With me in the studio is Jide Ojo, a public affairs analyst, a syndicated columnist, and a TV group. It's always a pleasure, as I say, to have you on the program.
Thanks for having me.
I am Winifred Ugbemo. We are going to be reviewing the last paper we have on our menu, talking about business, national economy, our sister publication. The headline story says, absence of cargo evacuation system threatens viability of Lekki Deep Sea Port. Absence of cargo evacuation system threatens viability of Lekki Deep Sea Port.
You recall, Winifred, that we discussed this issue some time ago,
Oh, yes.
when your correspondent in Lagos
Yes.
was
Talked
put.
about it.
You talked about it. I don't know how you want to do. You have a deep sea port, but you are not thinking of the transportation of these cargoes out of that seaport. My fear for Lagosians is that the traffic that will be on that axis of Victoria Island down to Lekki, down to Ekpe, would try Apamo 200 times than Papa Road.
Yes, I was reading the story yesterday in one of the dailies, and though I applauded the Lekki Deep Sea Port, but they have not actually put it to place.
That should have been a rail, a monorail.
That even Amechi, when he was there, actually said they should buy into it to take the way from there.
And that is where you have your free trade zone.
And they're supposed to have 3 lanes to construct it.
The expansion of the road network,
yes.
That has not happened. That is the corridor where you have Dangote refinery that is coming up 650,000 megawatt. That's where you have the Dangote fertilizer that the president went to commission like a month ago. That is where you have so many. In fact, the financial nerve center of Nigeria is on that island.
And also, Olu, the governor of Lagos State, did promise that I was going to, but they said there's nothing on the ground to show that.
Yes. That is what the story is talking about. So how do you evacuate
Or probably he's also waiting for federal government, since it's a federal government project. A guy exactly what came to my mind when I was reading the report yesterday.
Okay, let him wait for Godot. He's waiting for federal government. This federal government has
So
it
most
shown
of our
any
state
serious?
governments are always waiting for federal government.
Oh,
for
that's what
for federal government
Calabar.
projects.
That's where what is also waiting for now. He's also waiting on the federal government to come and help him with the what did they call the one is very grandiose stuff they said he's doing in Calabar. This we should have thought about what impact. Now you bring the cargo through the deep sea port. Had it been that we have developed the infrastructure of our inland waterways,
Yes.
inland waterways, that from that Apapa, from that Lekki, you move it to Ondo and Ogun State, because there is a connection, ocean that connects them. You get that? That's using small vessels to move some of these things to maybe dry seaport somewhere in Ondo State or in Ogun State, which are adjoining states to Lagos. But if you want to evacuate this cargo by road, that means there will be a lot of congestion down to Ekpe, and that's where you have all the multinationals, the Chevron Oil Company, and all of the many multinational. Because in Lagos, there are two sides to Lagos. There is island, there is mainland. Mainland is just commercial, small. But island is where you have the financial. It's like our New York, the nerve center, the economic nerve center. All the bank headquarters are in island. All the big companies, everything that has to do with finance is on the island. But it's not even about that. You know, from Victoria Island, once you leave on that corridor going towards Lekki, Aja, Ekpe, you know, it used to be that those who live on that route were moving against traffic when they come to work. So if you have house, your residence is in Lekki, in Aja, in there is also this so down to so when others are coming from mainland to pass through the third mainland bridge to island, you are moving against traffic coming to island. But now with this Lekki Free Trade Zone and the springing up of so many industry in the industrial park, that economic free trade zone, if this issue is not resolved, even before the Dangote refinery will come on stream, it's going to be cause a lot of traffic jam on that, because these are products that are not going to be taken in taxis and cabs. You are going to be having thousands of articulated vehicles coming to load products in and out of that place. The good news is that they don't necessarily, particularly for those who are not servicing Lagos, they don't necessarily have to come to the mainland. They can go through Ekpe to Shagamu to then to Oyo and even down to Abeokuta and all of that. But that road network is not optimal. You need to still fix the road, because the volume of traffic on that road now is not the kind that say when those articulated vehicles. Already those roads are, you know, maybe they are not built for the kind of articulated vehicles that will be coming on them. So they will damage quickly. That will cause hold up, and that will be loss of productivity. And all the residents along that axis will start facing huge traffic jams. And that means there will be paralysis of the economy of Lagos, and even so I think what should have been going on pari passu with this Lekki deep sea port is a rail line, a monorail line that should have been able to easily evacuate the product to the dry ports that are in the southwest region, so that it will not cause traffic congestion on Lagos, and particularly those who are living on that corridor.
Perhaps the Chinese company that is the constitution need to also consider this aspect.
No, it's what you ask them to do that they will do for you. Don't forget, Ministry of Transportation, Federal Ministry of Transportation, this should have been a collaboration between federal and state.
Yes.
So, the inland waterways in Lagos, when you know this deep sea port, they have to dredge.
Yes.
They have to dredge
Yes.
to be able to allow big vessels to
yes.
be able
And
to
I even
berth.
heard that they even have the capacity to dredge more to
Yes, they
increase-
need to
increase
dredge
the
more
meters,
because the Tinkan Island, the Apapa, they were already dredged seaports. So that's why they can receive those huge containers. But this Lekki deep sea port now, they have to do dredging to be able to allow big vessels to berth at that place, which will now provide alternate or additional source of ships to berth and discharge their cargo in that place. But what we are saying is that the lack of foresight that happened with the Apapa seaport should not have been allowed to happen. As they are building the deep sea port, they should have also been thinking of evacuation of the containers that will be coming through that axis, and also build the road infrastructure, the rail infrastructure, the water infrastructure that can help easily to evacuate the cargo from that end. And that seems to be the missing link.
And from the story that we have on the cover today, that there's no budget for it in 2021.
So that means all hope is lost. And you cannot, because if there is no budget for it, is it Dangote you will now expect to come and do that for you? As Dangote is looking for money to complete his own refinery. So will you be expecting it to now still be the one to be thinking of that should have been you see when we
Part
talk
of it.
no wait Winifred, when we say government some people say government does not have business in business, but even though I disagree with that, but assuming they are even right that their government has no business in business, but government has a role to provide the enabling environment.
Oh, yes.
And creating the enabling environment is to do what we are asking them to have done, which is to provide a transportation infrastructure that will enable those who have invested in businesses around that corridor to be able to easily evacuate their goods. You cannot say they will be the one, those who are investing in businesses, in manufacturing concerns in that area, should still be the one to now be providing the road, to provide the rail, to provide water to evacuate their goods out of that place. That should have been complementary for anyone that is investing in that. It's like when you say you are a housing developer, you now acquire the vast expanse of land. You didn't provide internal road infrastructure to network to that of the government on the government-owned road. How do you want your residents of your estate to move in and out of that place? That is exactly what the situation is. So the Ministry of Transportation should have liaised with maybe Ministry of Water Resources or ministry or other ministry that are in Ministry of Works, to be able to see how they can complement. So this infrastructure are built pari passu, not that you complete one to start thinking about the other. You get, because they are under different ministries.
Yes, yeah.
The building of seaport is under Ministry of Transportation. But road network is not under Ministry of Transportation. It's under Ministry of Works. You get? And and then the water, there is also the aspect of Ministry of Water Resources in what to do with water, whether table water or underground water or oceanic or whatever water. So this should have been a well-coordinated effort, but I think because our ministries, department, and agencies, they work in silos. Everybody is fighting tough because of budget, so they don't care about what impact what they are doing will have. Lack of synergy. Lack of synergy. In fact, that's part of the challenge with our insecurity. Lack of synergy. That is part of why the 9/11 attack was successful in US, because there was no synergy. As at that time, one of the agencies, the FBI, or picked the information that Al-Qaeda was going to attack, but they didn't share that information with relevant brother or sister agency. I don't know is it brother agency or sister agency. So they didn't share it, and that was how the Osama bin Laden was successful with that attack. And that's what is still plaguing us in the fight against insecurity. They are working in silos, and they are supposed to be coordinated by Office of National Security Advisor. But you ask yourself, what impact has that office made in the coordination of our security? So Nigeria is a work in progress. We pray that we overcome someday soon, and that we will be allowed to see that triumph. But it's a serious challenge. Nigeria is seriously challenged as we speak.
I hope so too. Thank you so much for your time today on Inside Nigeria. It was nice having your views on the situation report, making the headline stories on national papers today. Thank you so much.
Always a pleasure.
I look forward to seeing you next week, same time.
Hopefully, inshallah. I'm back at the Salah to our Muslim brothers and sisters. Where are we eating the Salah on this weekend? Happy Eid al-Fitr, happy Eid al-Kabir in advance, and to all our Muslim women. Yeah, back at the Salah.
I remember but don't forget, tomorrow is another day, same time, same station. Do stay tuned with us. I remain Winifred. Bye.
Thank you for watching. For sponsorship and advert placements, please contact 080-3688-6158. Last Word Leadership Podcast Studio. You have the last word.